Hey, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls? Andrew here. We're going to be talking about a penny stock today. It's been super volatile this week. It's got a bunch of news. It's got a lot going on, and I do think it is going to perform well in the future. And before we get into it, like always, if you do enjoy the videos, make sure you subscribe. It helps out the channel. We are on the road to 1,000 subscribers. It's free, and you can always unsubscribe if you want. Now, the stock we're going to be talking about today is Senseonics, and Senseonics engages in the design, development, and commercialization of implantable continuous glucose monitoring systems for people with diabetes. Now, their main product is this long-term CGM system that they've been developing for a while, and they're way above their competition with this one because their system lasts for 90 days. And it helps monitor your blood glucose, and it's just an under-the-skin sensor and then a removable and rechargeable transmitter that you can also track through an app. Now, the 90 days is significant compared to Dexcom, which is their main competitor, which only has a period of 10 days. And if we take a look at Dexcom's market cap, it is just about $35 billion, while Senseonics' market cap is only $655 million. Now, Senseonics already has a 100-day CGM approved in Europe, and they're waiting on FDA approval in America. But unfortunately, due to the virus, FDA had priorities, and they haven't gotten around to approving the 180-day CGM yet. Now, this penny stock already has a bunch of hype around it. It's had a bunch of volume within the past few days, and I think FDA approval would just send this thing to the absolute moon. It has a super small market cap compared to Dexcom, which only has a 10-day CGM, where if this 180-day CGM gets approved, then that would be super big for their advancement against competition. It's also important to note that Senseonics is doing clinical studies for the 365-day CGM, which would be absolutely revolutionary for the company. Now, this Eversense technology is super innovative, and it's also super beneficial for people with diabetes. If you guys didn't know, diabetes is the 7th leading cause of deaths around the world, and this monitoring system to help them monitor their glucose levels is super easy, and it also lasts for a super long time. I also love that they have integration with an app, and it lets you see your glucose value every 5 minutes, and it also lets you see the direction your glucose level is heading. So in case of an emergency, you can see that you possibly need some help, and I think that's really important for preparing for an event like that and preventing harm or death. The app also lets you set up glucose alerts, and it also lets you track events like meals and workouts to see if they're on the right path, and it can also help you identify trends. Now, in the beginning of this week, Senseonics got a really good deal with Emblem Health, and that makes it available to 2.9 million members in New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut. So this helps them expand their business, and it gets a lot more customers, and it's going to make them a lot more revenues. The CEO of Senseonics also said, "We are excited to see additional coverage for Eversense and appreciate payers' community recognition that CGM is now the standard of care for patients using insulin to manage their diabetes." Now, due to the recent surge in their stock price, Senseonics did the smart thing and announced a stock offering, which gave them about $50 million in cash, and they're going to be using that for general corporate purposes, probably to strengthen their balance sheet like most companies do. So I was looking across the internet, and I came across two different studies, and one was on Dexcom's 10-day CGM system, and the other one was on Senseonics' 90-day system. And they were comparing the accuracy of both, and the measurement they used to compare them was MARD, or the mean absolute relative difference. And what they found out was that with Senseonics, the 90-day mean absolute relative difference was 8.8%, and for Dexcom, it was 9.9%. And with this measurement, the lower is more accurate. Now, these studies prove that Senseonics is superior when it comes to how long the CGM system lasts, and also the effectiveness of the CGM system and the accuracy. So it's definitely interesting to see how superior Senseonics' accuracy and their time for their CGM system is compared to Dexcom's, even though Dexcom's market cap is many times bigger than Senseonics. Now, yes, I understand this has to do with a lot more revenues and a lot more exposure, but I do think that once this Eversense system, the 180 days, gets approved in the United States, that is going to dramatically improve their sales. But like we mentioned earlier with Emblem Health, they're going to be getting more partnerships and more deals, which is going to inherently increase their revenues. Now, if we take a look at the institutional holders, as you can see, New Enterprise holds a 15.2% stake in all the shares, and also BlackRock and Vanguard are invested into this company. So I think they believe that it's probably going to get FDA approval, which is going to send the stock soaring, and it's also going to continue to get partnerships, and it's going to continue to increase their revenues. Now, something very important to look at when you're looking at penny stocks is the short flow, which is basically how many shares are being shorted. And if we look here on FinViz, 31% of the shares are shorted, and that is a huge percentage. And what happens, if you're unaware, is what's called a short squeeze. So basically when a stock price goes up, let's say there's FDA approval, the people who are shorting the stock are going to want to buy back because they don't want to sit and short a stock that's absolutely mooning. So what happens when they buy back, that causes an even bigger increase in price, and that's what you call a short squeeze. And please don't forget that this is a penny stock, so do not put all of your account into it. Penny stocks have a lot of volatility, therefore it can be day traded and there is a lot of money to be made. And even though I do believe in the company, I wouldn't suggest putting a bunch of your portfolio into it because of the volatility. But in my personal opinion, I do think they're going to get FDA approval for the 180-day and the 365-day once that goes through all of its trials, as long as the accuracy of the CGM stays the same. Now, if we take a look at the chart, as you can see, it peaked at just under $4 a few days ago, and the volume is still pretty high, but it did drop off significantly in the past 4-hour session. So we're going to have to see if it gets bought up, or we're going to have to see if it continues to fade down today. Now, some big support levels is going to be this 2 level, as you can see the previous rejections here, and those usually tend to act as support, so we're going to have to see that. My opinion, if you are playing the technicals and you are day trading the stock, I would look for an impulse candle, possibly on a 15 to 30 minute time frame, and you want to see some buying from that candle, of course, because with these stocks, the volume is very important with the volatility. But if you are investing long-term into this company, they say time in the market beats timing the market. So any price right now is good as long as you're banking on their FDA approval, which I believe is a pretty high probability that they get it. But other than that, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you be careful. Always do your own due diligence. I'm not a financial advisor, so don't take my word for it. Make sure you do your own research. Now, I say that so you guys don't get burned, because we all know penny stocks are super volatile and present great risk, but they also present great rewards. So make sure you're not throwing your whole account into this play. But other than that, guys, if you enjoyed the video, if you want to see more investing ideas, trading ideas, watch list, news-based content, make sure you subscribe because it helps out the YouTube algorithm. And if you have any companies that you like and you want me to check out, leave a comment down below. And if I like it, I'll make a video about it. But other than that, guys, it's going to be the end of the video. I will see you guys in the next one.